Hello and welcome to this program Paintbrush. We are at the Art Chambers in Kalangut, an art gallery solely dedicated to the display and promotion of contemporary art from India as well as the rest of the world. In that very connection, this gallery has organized an exhibition of paintings, drawings and an animation film by a young and talented Iranian artist, Sohela Dabiri. So let's go in, see the works and have a little chat with the artist. Sohela Dabiri, an Iranian artist, spent her formative years in Germany. Enrolled in one of the prestigious schools of art in Germany, and despite having received numerous awards, accolades and commendations from noted institutions and forums, Sohela one fine day just walked out of the art school and landed up in India, the land she was fascinated by for its cultural wealth and spiritual depth. At her first solo show in Goa, gallery owner Rudolf Kammerman introduced the artist and welcomed the viewers with the presentation of an animation film.
We are going to screen an animation which we have never done, but it's an animation on art, on the artworks of Sohela. Now Sohela, may I introduce her? She will shortly, in short time she will tell you something about her painting. She's an artist born in Iran and studied in Germany, lived in Germany most of her life and studied there and came later back to Asia. And well, there's a lot to say about her paintings. We have already seen some of her works and got in touch with that. It's quite an unusual, the fourth unusual thing is these kind of paintings which you won't see every day here. The themes and the content is, to my eyes, very Asian. It's an own language. It's an own language which is just about to develop, I think, and it's a quite interesting thing. Now, because it's so interesting, you see those archetypical figures when you see around. A friend of hers took up the idea, I think, and they created this animation together. Nick Bala, he's not there, but he just had to leave. But they created a very interesting video.
This animation film was created and produced by Sohela and a friend. The forms and elements are straight out of her drawings. Her static images come to life, aided by curious effects. The throbbing music completes the orchestra of multiple styles. Sohela, when did you start or think of painting?
I think the first time I did a painting, I was not aware of it. I think children start with 2 years old when they're just amazed about their movements, what they are doing, and are not conscious about art or what it should be and meant.
But you did fine arts, you did academically trained artist. Why did you leave college in between and then came down to India?
Yes. I grew up in Germany, and I study free art there, and we got trained to the concept art. My environment was of logic and structure, but when I invited my father to the exhibitions, still I've had some difficulty to explain him why the sausages were hanging at the wall. So for me, it was always the feeling that I needed to do this creative force to translate it in a different language. Yeah, and I felt that there was a gap. I'm very grateful that I could go to school, but there was this force somehow that I wanted to experience something new and different. And I started traveling. I came to India, and so many things were not being logic to me, but they make so much sense. They really touched my heart, and so my artwork, I feel, is not really a concept, and it started from this. I didn't want it really to. In this moment where I turned around my back to the art world, only there I felt again free. And the same feeling I got in India to travel, just jump in the bus and live in this moment and here now. And I got inspired by beautiful sentence like to hear in India, all is one and one is all. And so many times the sentences went through me, and I saw in India the Hindus doing beautiful rituals, sitting in Benares and seeing how they do their chanting, their fire, and this all inspired me and all gave me the courage, to say like, it is right, like just look at how children are doing it. They're so spontaneous and they're here, this now, and yeah.
But were you influenced by Hinduism in particular, the shamanic culture you were influenced by? So also we have in Hinduism something called tantric cult. Were you influenced by that? Do you see some influence of that?
Yeah, I think like in each religion I take from everywhere some mosaic stone. I come from Iran, so in our past we have been Parsis, but I don't say that I belong to any religion. Somebody asked me in India, Madam, where do you belong to? And I'm thinking, okay, what really belongs to me? Does my daughter belong to me? What are the influence? And I think life on itself, from everywhere, we can learn something. And I heard a nice sentence which said, be aware, might be an angel who entertains you. So many times we are arrogant, or we say we come from this school, we didn't won this prize and whatever. And sometimes we just listen to an old lady, or we just look at the children. And so I'm very interested in shamanism. I'm very interested in healing and quantum physics. There are so many influence,
But how do you relate that to painting? I mean, how do you put that into painting? What has this connection has with the painting that you are doing?
When I'm drawing, there are no thoughts. It's like I'm starting somewhere, and I feel like it's channeling through me. Sometimes I have big places even covered, and I'm working on a small, tiny spot, and I'm doing the circles and circles, and it's like a trance to me. And I'm thinking just today is the Persian New Year, Happy New Year, Mubarak Nowruz. And I feel like the Persian ladies, they're sitting and doing the carpets, one knot to another knot to another knot. And like our body, our cells, and one circle to another circle. And sometimes I'm opening and I'm like, whoa, and it's growing. It's natural, it's amorph, growing. There's not the structure. I start here and this. Sometimes I take the pencil, I make some scratches, but mostly I feel like it's channeling through. And when I'm looking them and giving them a title on looking them more intense, so many things in my picture make sense and I can explain them afterwards, but not during I'm doing them. I never know what's happened on the paper. And it's always, especially by the black and white, it reminds me to computer, like black and white, like the 0 and the 1. And it's always like I put a ink on or not a ink on. 0, 1. It's always about decision. So sure, this work is more about shapes, yeah? And you could do something about rhythms, about fast lining, or it's not about this, it's about shapes. And what I see when I'm looking, especially the black and white, the white needs the black, and the black needs the white. So there's no concurrence. The polarity is even an illusion.
Do you like to paint in black and white, or do you like to paint in color? Because most of your works which are displayed here are black and white.
Yeah, just shortly I came more to the color work, and colors are beautiful, and black and white is very powerful.
What is more comfortable? What are you more comfortable in, black and white or color? Because black and white is considered by the artist to be very difficult colors. We call them neutrals, to balance and all those sort of things. What do you think you are comfortable in?
I remember my art studio, there came like 800 or 1,000 maps inside, and we have then, from there they collect like 30, and then after you make 2 days